Hello, friends, and welcome to your Ontario Premier League Match of the Week. This week, we've got an absolute beauty on deck here between NDC Ontario and Scrosoppi. My name is Pierce Lang, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you today. We're going to get right to it in just a few moments, but first, we'll get you started with the national anthems. I hope you're ready to rock and roll just as much as I am. This evening we've got this matchup here between second place NDC Ontario taking on fifth place Scrosoppi. These two teams met back on January 30th. Scrosoppi won 2-0 that day. A repeat performance tonight and a Vaughan loss tomorrow at Woodbridge would see Scrosoppi reach fourth place in their maiden voyage in the top flight. As always, Melissa Biggs' NDC squad are a tough nut to crack this season. They currently sit second, 7 points behind Simcoe County, with the league title seemingly out of reach unless they get some results to go their way. They do have a shot at the Rovers in 2 weeks' time after Scrosoppi have a go at them next week. So they'll be looking for a favor from tonight's opponents once their wounds have healed. NDC come into this match having lost last weekend away to the aforementioned first place Simcoe County Rovers. Scrosoppi were 5-1 winners at home as they hosted relegation candidates North Toronto last weekend. They've taken at least a share of the points in 4 of their last 5 games with a 2-2-1 record in that stretch. NDC's loss last week gives them a 3-0-2 record over that same time frame. When these two teams met last time out, it was Yasmin Castillo beating Olivia Busby before she was subbed out at half for Sophia Pagnotta, and then Alyssa Stevenson followed things up in the second half with the final nail in the coffin. Melissa Biggs' NDC squad are going to line up in a 4-2-3-1. They're very young. All their 08s have headed off to school. So look for the 3 up top to be Hennessy on the left, McLeod up top, and Mora on the right side. Gabriella Stocky playing at the top of the triangle in the middle with Aria Winter and Riley Anselmini backing her up. From there, going across the back line, it's Isaiah Patterson on the left side, Paige Roofer at center back. Her partner in the back will be Iris Opong, and Riley Nembard playing right back. Olivia Busby wearing the captain's armband in goal for NDC Ontario. For Scrosoppi, it's going to be Rashi Botros in goal. The 18-year-old playing just her third match in the top flight. Then it'll be 21-year-old Vanessa Pianta, Tierra Bennett, Ivana Ayuba, Alexia Rooms, the 20-year-old veteran, Senai Sarabo, Captain Natalie Monahan, the 2025 MVP of the old League One Ontario Championship, Yasmin Castillo. Then it's Jaya Leckie, Nia Gordon, and Anaya Joseph. Three very young players who've come over from Hamilton United and had an instant impact with this Scrosoppi squad this season. Oh, lovely pass into the feet of Sinai Cerebro, and she's going to put her initial first shot of the match just wide of Busby's goal, as she was well out of her goal here a minute into the match, and she looks to be in rough shape here all of a sudden. Looks like she might have been winded on the play. So I mentioned before that it's going to be 4-2-3-1 from NDC Ontario. Scrosoppi probably going to line up in a 4-4-2 most of the time, but they do have a wild card up their sleeve in Alexia Rooms, who is able to play multiple positions. So they switch back and forth between a 3-5-2 whenever necessary. They showed out in a 4-4-2 more or less the entirety of their last match against NDC when these two met. Busby's upright. Looks as though she may have got clipped in the face. Hopefully she'll get the old tissue up the nose treatment and be good to go. Officials for today's match, it's Lucas Capicotto in the middle. Amanda Kwan is the first assistant referee. Second assistant referee is Goran Baswarva. And the fourth official is Alistair Vegas. Your match coordinator today is Yusuf Al-Waeli. A little bit of supervision from my man Andrew Peterson down there. League legend. Looks like Busby's ready to get back to it as she puts the ball in play. Ball swung in the middle here for Opong. She'll play it back to Ruffer, who's got a bit of space. Nia Noel Gordon giving her room to breathe. Sabrina Mora unable to hold on to possession here for NDC Ontario, and it's played into the path of Anaya Joseph. Castillo has her pass intercepted. NDC moving the ball up the left side. Isaiah Patterson well up the field here, and she's down on the ground clutching her right side. Riley Anselmini playing the ball back, and it looks as though Patterson's still down on the ground, and they're going to put the ball out. And the NDC trainer, possibly the busiest person out here so far today. 5th minute of play, still 0-0. On a very hazy evening here in the city of Vaughan. all over Southern Ontario, really. From what I understand, all the way down the eastern seaboard as well. The Cruyff Institute, educating the future leaders of the soccer industry. Proud sponsors of the Ontario Premier League. As our Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel, that's their tagline. We'd like to thank One Soccer as well, the home of soccer in Canada. Follow your favorite OPL alumni as they compete in the Canadian Premier League, the TELUS Canadian Championship, and with our Canadian national teams, all exclusively on One Soccer. That ball exclusively picked off there by Ivana Ayuba. Ayuba was the second team All-Star defender in 2025. She's got 1 goal in 14 matches this season. She's only been subbed out of the game once so far this year, and that was in a 2-0 loss to Guelph. Well read there by Patterson as she went streaking up the left side to win the ball back for NDC. Shot steered away and out for an NDC throw. Want to give a shout out to MSA, or as they're otherwise known, Major Sports Analysis, delivering the data behind the game. Every men's and women's OPL matches powered by MSA Insights with performance features and data-driven spotlights shared across OPL and club social media channels. We'd also like to thank Volt, the official ball of the Canadian Premier League and preferred match ball of the Ontario Premier League, and Hummel, the official apparel supplier of the OPL. Well, we've got time. We're going to give a shout out to the Canadian Premier League, our game, our country, our league, and Ontario Soccer, encouraging us all to play, inspire, and unite. And with that, all our bills are paid for the first half. We'll get back to the action here. NDC looking to get the ball in quickly off the corner. Everyone rushing in. Paige Riffer coming up from that back four, finding a spot in the box, shotting towards goal, and what a finish there. No chance whatsoever for 18-year-old Rashi Botro. Says that shot was blasted in from the middle of the 18. Well-worked corner kick. And suddenly, NDC Ontario are up 1-0.
NDC Ontario goal. Score in the 9th minute by number 16, Alyssa McLeod.
There you have it, folks. Alyssa McLeod. Her 9th goal on the season. She's been on a bit of a dry spell here as of late. She had 7 goals in the first 6 games this season, but that one gets her back on track here. This is Ailish Hennessy putting a ball into the box, and well read, and looks as though that was Alexia Rooms taken to ground. No, rather that was Vanessa Pianta. Tira Bennett lumping a ball up the field and into the path of Yasmin Castillo, but she's going to have the call go against her. Anselmini on the ball. Anselmini, new to the squad this year, scored 2 goals in her debut. She'd been making a name for herself first at Guelph in the OPL over the last couple years, and then made the switch to London, where she got in a couple games with their League One programming last year, and then made the move here to NDC Ontario this season. Solid little player. Ball rolls harmlessly in towards Rashi Botros, and she'll find Tira Bennett. Pianta ahead to Castillo. This is Jaya Leckie. Leckie's a youngster. She's only 17 years old as well. She's one of those players who came over from Hamilton United. They had a very strong winter season with that group of girls that are now here with Scrosoppi. Made it all the way to the Ontario Indoor Cup final. Ball cleared by Bennett. Bennett, a veteran of this league, has been around for a few years now. She's only 22, but I remember her from her days with Blue Devils FC. I'm saying probably 2021 here. Ball in towards Botros, and she'll handle that without any difficulty and slow things right back down. It's the captain, Natalie Moynihan, laying it off. Clearance blocked by Sabrina Mora. This is Arya Winter, rather that. Another player who's new to the squad here with NDC Ontario, was playing with Ottawa South United on a very, very good team that I had the pleasure of calling several times. Here's an opportunity as Mora works her way into the box and puts it low and hard in towards Botros, but no trouble for the woman in pink. Moynihan popping a ball up into the air, and it's being chased down here by Sanaya Sebaroy. Sebaroy's initial shot blocked and then blocked again. Fabulous defensive work there by Riley Nembard. Corner kick coming here for Scrosoppi in the 14th minute of play. Still 1-0 for NDC Ontario. Goal scored by Alyssa McLeod back in the 9th minute of play. Looks like it'll be a right-footed in-swinger. The kick comes in. Middle of the 18, headed in towards goal, and Olivia Busby is there to meet the ball. Ball played up into the path of Hennessy. She's one-on-one with Tierra Bennett. Ball played into the path of McLeod, and she's unable to find any joy in the box. Winter leaving it for Anselmini. Anselmini gets it back once again. She's going to swing in a left-footed cross, and that's stopped by Jayalecki. Nembard putting a ball back into the box, and that's wide of goal and out for a goal kick here in the 16th minute of play at the Zankin Automotive Soccer Center in the beautiful city of Vaughan. Temperatures really dropped off here this evening. You'll have to excuse my sniffles because the allergies are in full effect with this forest fire smoke we've got on hand, and a shot in towards goal, and that's going to go harmlessly past Rashi Botros' net. NDC Ontario back on the ball. Scrosoppi having a lot of trouble getting it out of their own end here. Unrelenting pressure from the women in white. Here's Nembard. Opong's got Ruffer. Ruffer's got the ability to sneak up and join the attack when she feels like it. We saw her score a goal here a few weeks ago. Versus North Toronto, rather, that. McLeod brings it down, calls for a handball, no whistle blown. This is Anselmini. Anselmini's going to have a look from distance, and she puts that one over the bar. And it'll be out for another goal kick for Scrosoppi. Again, it's wave after wave of pressure here from NDC Ontario. A very young side for Melissa Big here tonight. Great work by Mora to work her way in towards the edge of the 18. Nembard puts the ball into the box, popped up into the air. Botros out to meet it. Great save from Botros as she got right in front of Alyssa McLeod. Lone goal scorer here so far this evening. If you were wondering, the smoke has not seemed to affect the mosquitoes here. And I am regretting not wearing a sweater. Lexi Rooms turns to find some space. Here's Moynihan. Moynihan with the ball over the top. Giving chase is Anaya Joseph. And look at the speed here as Patterson comes out of the back. Lovely square ball over to Nembard. Gabriella Stocky laying it off for Nembard once again. She's found Paige Ruffer with a little bit of space, but pressure coming. Ruffer lofting a big, long, high ball and perfectly placed right into the path of number 11 in white. That's Ailish Hennessy. Hennessy still with it on that far side, trying to find some room. She was looking for Anselmini and just slightly off target with that pass. Roofer playing Nembard into space. This is Mora. Aria Winter, lovely ball for Estaki, and Estaki's going to have a shot, and that'll be blocked. Estaki, 16 years old. She's got 8 goals. 6 of those were in her first 7 matches, and then she had 2 goals in a match against Waterloo 2 weeks ago. Her older sister, Gabriella, was part of that original group that came through the NDC Ontario programming. She's playing at Saint Etienne in France right now. And a prime example of how the sky's really the limit for these young Canadian women now in the sport of soccer. I can speak from personal experience. I remember a time when my younger sister was with the Vancouver Whitecaps and they were given $600 to go towards rent, or if they wanted to live in accommodations provided by the Whitecaps. And God bless the Whitecaps and everyone involved with their programming for making that a possibility for those women at the time. But oh, how the times have changed. We've got ourselves a top flight for these women to move up to here. This NDC squad will be changing hands, moving over from the provincial and national system, and headed just wide a goal there by Paige Roofer. But NDC Ontario will basically become the AFC Toronto Academy team next year. Longtime NDC head coach Joey Lombardi taking on the top role with that team, and Melissa Big will be moving on over to join him, or sticking around, I guess. Have it whichever way you want it. You know what I mean. Pianta heads that ball wide a goal. Out over the touchline. Ball into the box. Scramble in front and finally cleared. Brought down by Aria Winter. Estaki on it now. Tries to flip it up in towards the box, and it'll be cleared once again by Pianta. Here's Winter once more. Opong with plenty of real estate available in front of her. She pops the ball in towards Estaki in the box. Estaki over the ball. She's going to turn. Lays it off for Opong again. Pops it up into the air. McLeod gives a shove in the box to give herself some room, but it's Anselmini bringing it down. Anselmini working her way towards the sideline. Nothing comes of that foray into the Scrosoppi box as it's cleared there by Moynihan. Another shot from distance in towards Botros' goal, and to no avail. We're in the 24th minute of play here, friends. Still 1-0 for NDC Ontario, as it was Alyssa McLeod breaking the deadlock. Back in the 9th minute of play. Chance coming here as Aria Winter is in a good little battle with Ivana Ayuba. Ayuba squirts that ball out, however, for a goal kick. Anselmini able to control and lays it off on that far side. Little battle going on here, and Hennessy's going to have the call go against her. Winter again able to claim the ball. Once more, she's able to play it back to Opong. Or, sorry, rather that's Nembard. This is Opong. Nembard had shifted over to provide support in more central position there. Anselmini laying it off. This is Patterson, who's flown up the left side. She's left it for McLeod. Patterson again on the ball. McLeod looking for the call as she was taken down at the edge of the box. Whistle not blown, however, there by Lucas Capicotto. Approaching the 27th minute of play here, friends. My name's Pierce Lang. It's an absolute delight to be back here with you once again on the match of the week. I think it's been nearly 2 years now since I last joined you. So much has changed, so much to be excited about. It's kind of funny how the more things change, the more they stay the same. NDC towards the top as always. Great to see the emergence here of Simcoe over the last 2 seasons. Zach Wilson's done a phenomenal job with that group up in Barrie here these last 2 years. And some exciting news out of Barrie here this last week. As looks like they're going to be getting a nice downtown soccer-specific stadium. Sabrina Mora was deep in her own end there to control the ball, calm down the play. And Salmini's touch lets her down as she was looking to get it back to Nembard. Opong has the call go against her, and it'll be a Scrosoppi free kick from about 30, 35 yards out from goal. We've seen Olivia Busby beaten a couple times this season from distance. So we'll see how she handles this one. There's virtually no wind whatsoever here this evening. Ball in towards the box off the boot of Castillo. Scramble in front, and Busby's gone to ground and taken the attacker down. And it'll be a penalty kick here for Scrosoppi. Not sure what the keeper was thinking on that one, but it could be a decisive play here as we're in the 30th minute of play. Busby, who was in a backup role with the Calgary Wild of the NSL not so long ago, filling in, will now be stared down by Nia Noel Gordon. A penalty kick that could bring Scrosoppi back into the game, and it does. Nia Noel Gordon, she's banged in her 3rd goal of the season here in the 30th minute of play, and it's all back to 1-1 here at the Zankin Automotive Soccer Center in Vaughan. And it's the captain, Moynihan, trying to get her team revved up to continue working to get themselves a lead now after being down for almost 20 minutes. Great resilience from Luis Felipe Domingo's Scrosoppi side here in the first half, as they didn't let their emotions get the better of them after going down in the first 10 minutes. Here's Castillo once more, playing a ball into the box. Winter's clearance stopped by Moynihan. Ball worked around. Here's Castillo once more, laying it off. Scrosoppi moving the ball so quickly here. Offside. The call against Scrosoppi. It was Sarah Bowie who is deemed to be behind the second to last defender. Anselmini now on it on the far side. Cutting in towards the middle, has a shot with the right boot, and that's pushed over the bar. A fantastic save by the 18-year-old Rashi Botros, keeping her team in this one. That's her second big save here in the first half. Could easily be 3-1 for NDC Ontario. Anselmini not one to shy away from putting a shot on frame, that's for certain. Right-footed outswinger swung to the top of the 6. Opong unable to head it down. Only cleared to the top of the 18. Put back in towards the edge of the 6, but that's going to go out for a Scrosoppi goal kick. 33rd minute of play, and we're all knotted up here in your Ontario Premier League Women's Match of the Week. Lovely work by Sarah Boy to get past the initial press. Ball swung out wide, but Alexia Rooms sat there waiting for it rather than coming to the ball. The 28-year-old Alexia Rooms, she was on that same Blue Devils women's side along with her pal Tierra Bennett back in 2020. So she's been around. She was even in Portugal here not too long ago, having a go at the professional game over across the pond. Battling hard to maintain possession there is the goal scorer, Nia Noel Gordon. Hennessy taken to ground on a strong tackle by Rooms. You'd expect strong play from Alexia Rooms. Her father, Delroy, runs strength and conditioning camps and programming in Oakville. He's been around for ages. That ball wide of Botros's goal. Winter's pass needed a little bit more mustard on it there as it's broken up. Here's Moynihan having a scan around the pitch, and she pops the ball up over the top for Anaya Joseph to run onto. She's got it at the edge of the 18. She's going to turn around and try and work it back into the middle. She was looking for Moynihan, but Mora came back to break up the attack. Clarence only gets as far as Ivana Ayuba. And Ayuba's ball into the box is cleared away. Tierra Bennett on it now, and she's going to lose the ball. No trouble there as it was played right back into the path of Jaya Leckie. Here's Leckie on it now. Opong brings it down. Nembard with a searching pass, looking for a Stocky, but it's broken up. Here's Moynihan popping it up over Winter. Noelle Gordon laying it off. Scrosoppi continue to work the ball around. A little bit of cat and mouse here as they've got NDC running all over the shop. Sarah Boy looking for the call as she went to ground. No whistle there from referee Capicotto. Opong lofting a ball, looking for McLeod. McLeod tried to flick it past Tierra Bennett, but the experienced defender was right there to break it up. About 7.5 minutes here left in the first half. I cannot tell you how much additional time will be added on to this one. I can't imagine it's a ton. Probably 2 or 3 minutes with the 2 brief injury breaks we had and the 2 goals. Alexia Rooms with lots of room to operate over on that right side. Puts it into the path of Noelle Gordon, and she got into a little battle there with Paige Roofer. Opong plays it back for Patterson, who'll calm things down. Nembard cutting into the middle. Her pass picked off by Castillo. Castillo can't get it past Winter and Anselmini. Iris Opong giving it right back to Paige Roofer. Isaiah Patterson on that far side. Her long pass goes all the way back to Botros. Botros has looked good here. I said before, it's only her 3rd match playing in the Premier Division. She was part of the North Mississauga youth programming until a few months ago. Saraboy looking for Moynihan. Moynihan unable to reach it, and this is Winter once again. NDC will reset as a ball is sent out wide, and this is Anselmini getting it forward. Hennessy slipping a pass. But it's broken up before finding its intended target. That target was a Stocky, and she's running all over Hell's Half Acre here trying to win the ball back. .41 minute of play, 1-1. As score was opened up by Alyssa McLeod in the 9th minute before Nia Noel Gordon converted a penalty back in the 30th minute of play. Alexia Rooms lays it off and into the path of Nia Noel Gordon, who was looking for her second there, but couldn't get her chin over the ball and blasted it high over the goal. Opong with a dangerous misstep there. Was able to find Mora, however, as she recovered the ball. Mora's going to lay it off here for Riley Nembard. Nembard having a look at who's available and no one coming out to meet her, so she's going to take her space, pushes it out wide for Mora. Mora fends off the attack. Swings across and bouncing around in the box. Bodies flying all over the place. Finally, the whistle blows, and it's going to be a Scrosoppi ball at the top of their own 6. Dangerous stuff there. Gorgeous ball into the 6 by Sabrina Mora. Sabrina Mora, just 17 years old. She's played 15 games here this season for NDC Ontario. 4 goals on the campaign. 1 yellow card. Moynihan intercepts, and she's got some room available in front of her. She's going to have a shot from distance and puts that well over Busby's goal. NDC getting the ball back into play as quick as can be. Anselmini pushes it out onto the wing for Hennessy. Hennessy pushes it past the on-rushing Alexia Rooms. Here's Hennessy with it still, finding a Stocky. A Stocky with the shot from distance, puts it off the crossbar. Top of the 18, bouncing around. Mora giving chase. Nembard able to bring it down, and it'll be Winter playing it back for Opong. Winter's found Patterson. Anselmini was having a look towards goal. We're about to get an indication here from Alistair Villegas, our 4th official, as to how much time will be added on to this first half. It looks like it'll be about 2 minutes. Although the sign could be upside down and it could be 5, but I'm pretty sure it's 2. Patterson putting a ball in towards the top of the 18. Moynihan's there, and it's finally cleared all the way back to Roofer. Roofer meets it at half, and her ball's a little bit wild. Looks like Nembard's going to be able to control it, calm things down here for NDC Ontario as they look to launch one more attack here. It's been wave after wave into the Scrosoppi and Castillo called for the handball. So officially it is 2 minutes of additional time to be added on here this evening to the first half as Morris swings another ball dangerously in towards the top of the 6. Popped up into the air, and that's going to go out off of the hands of Botros. She mistimed her movement there, and she's given NDC Ontario yet another opportunity to put a ball in front of her goal. Ball swung in towards the top of the 6, and it's right back out towards that far sideline. Swung in once again. Botros punches it clear, and she's taking the ground. She's going to get the call. Free kick for Scrosoppi in their own 6-yard box. Looks like it was, in fact, offside, according to Amanda Kwan here on the near sideline. And Bouye's pass, not really in the general direction of anyone in a black shirt, and it's easily dealt with here by NDC Ontario. They'll work it around the back over to the far left side. Nothing available to them, and they play it back to Roofer before the whistle is blown. Your score going into the break here, friends. 1-1 between NDC Ontario and Scrosoppi FC in your Ontario Premier League Women's Game of the Week, live from the Zankin Automotive Soccer Center in Vaughan, Ontario. My name's Pierce Lang. Go grab yourselves a Gatorade. Go grab yourselves a snack. In 15 minutes, we'll be right back with more action. Welcome back from the halftime break. We'd like to take a moment to thank the partners of the Ontario Premier League, the Cruyff Institute, educating the future leaders of the soccer industry, Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel, Ontario Soccer, the home of soccer in Canada. One Soccer, I think I said Ontario Soccer. One Soccer, the home of soccer in Canada. Follow your favorite OPL alumni as they compete in the Canadian Premier League, the TELUS Canadian Championship, and our Canadian national teams, all exclusively on One Soccer. MSA, Major Sports Analysis, delivering the data behind the game. Every men's and women's OPL match is covered and powered by MSA Insights, with performance features and data-driven spotlights shared across OPL and club social media channels. Voight, the official ball of the Canadian Premier League and preferred match ball of the Ontario Premier League. Hummel, the official apparel supplier of the OPL. The Canadian Premier League, our game, our country, our league, and Ontario Soccer, encouraging us all to play, inspire, and unite. Stay with us. The second half action is just around the corner. So we've got a substitution here at the half. Sabrina Moore is coming out of the game, and Samantha Cordoso is coming in. Short bench here for Luis Felipe Domingos on the other side, as he's only got 3 girls on the bench right now. Cordoso coming into this one. She's a 16-year-old who's featured in 10 matches this season. She's got 1 goal. She'll be looking to have a little bit of influence here as we get the second 45 underway. My name's Pierce Lang. I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you today for this matchup between NDC Ontario and Scrosoppi. It's 1-1. Initially, the first goal was scored by Alyssa McLeod back in the 9th minute of play. And then after a bit of confusion in the NDC Ontario 18-yard box, Olivia Busby took down a Scrosoppi attacker, and it was Nia Noel Gordon converting on the penalty to knot things back up. Wave after wave of pressure on Rashi Botros's goal. She made 2 brilliant saves to keep her team in the match. She was beaten, and the ball went off the crossbar at one point. Here's Riley Anselmini with the ball on the right side for NDC Ontario, slipping it into the path of Cordoso, who just came into the match. Getting her first touch of the day. Rashi Botros bringing the ball up towards the top of the 18 before she smashes a big booming kick over half. Paige Roofer there to meet it. She's going to have to chase this down with pressure coming on her now. She gives it back to Busby. Iris Opong playing a ball into the path of Cordoso. Hennessy moving in towards the middle. She was looking for a Stocky, but that's broken up by Scrosoppi. Castillo. Aria Winter getting a foot in to poke that free. Lovely turn there by Isaiah Patterson. Alexia Rooms comes flying in and smashes her off the ball, takes out her own player at the same time. Looks like that's Anaya Joseph down on the ground, clutching her left leg. Daniel De La Rosa having a look here at Anaya Joseph, and she's in a fair bit of pain by the looks of it. Lots going on in the league over the next little bit here. 4 games tomorrow as number 6 FC London takes on league leaders Simcoe County Rovers at 4:30 p.m. Vaughan and Woodbridge battle things out at 5 p.m. A Vaughan loss and a Scrosoppi win here today would move Scrosoppi into 4th place. 10th place North Mississauga are taking on Waterloo United, and then it's 9th place North Toronto taking on 3rd place Guelph. Guelph, a fantastic story here this season as Olivia Brown sits first in the league with 10 goals here as we enter into the 16th round of matches. 10 goals to lead the division. She had 20 last year and finished in 2nd. So that goes to show you how tight things are here in the Ontario Premier League Women's Division. Looks like we're going to have a substitution here as Destiny Omari's getting ready to come into the match for Scrosoppi. Omari's featured in 13 games this season. She's got 2 goals and 1 bright, shiny yellow card to match. Here's Castillo. Gets past Winter. Pressure coming from Estaki. Estaki takes Castillo down, and Omari will get into the match. As she replaces Anaya Joseph here in the 51st minute of play. Free kick coming here for Scrosoppi. Scrosoppi, such a fantastic story here. Making their way up from the what used to be the League One Ontario Championship last season, now OPL 2. But coming into this season here in 2026 and doing quite well in their first venture into the top flight. No call as McLeod comes away with the ball. Castillo went to get a foot in. McLeod down and screaming in pain as Tara Bennett went flying in with a challenge. Ball put into the path of Destiny Omari, and she's called offside as Olivia Busby came out to meet her. McLeod's still on the ground, writhing in pain. She'll get some attention from the training staff here as they look to figure out what's going on. A couple of NDC alumnas suited up here this season in cameo appearances for Scrosoppi. Scrosoppi based out of Milton, Ontario, so naturally Milton's very own Noelle Henning suited up for the black and white of Scrosoppi. And it was Jada Collin joining her. Probably one of the most exciting players we've seen come out of the NDC programming over the last couple of years. And that's not to besmirch the name of Noelle Henning, who had a fabulous season last year at Michigan State and spent a lot of time back and forth training with AFC Toronto. Got in a bunch of minutes last year with North Toronto. But they're both headed back off to university. Collins at Wisconsin, and I mentioned before that Henning plays with Michigan State. So many great players have come through this NDC program that are sneaking in minutes here and there across the Ontario Premier League. Last weekend, Zoe Marcassini got subbed into the match for North Toronto after they'd given up 4 goals in the first 22 minutes to Scrosoppi. Marcassini, who is one of the original members of this NDC program when it first came to fruition. But we'll see where these young women go as their careers continue on. As mentioning earlier in the match, how this team's going to roll over and more or less become the AFC Toronto Academy next season. Melissa Big moving over in that move to rejoin Joey Lombardi, who's been named the head coach. But it's exciting times for Canadian women in the sport of soccer, and it's about gosh darn time too, if you ask me. Very exciting news for the NSL as they have announced that they're going to be expanding into Winnipeg next year, and certainly the deal they signed with the Apex Investment Group, who are going to inject $30 million into the Northern Super League. Ruffer getting it out wide for Patterson. Istaki turns in the middle and fires the ball out onto the wing. Hennessy putting it into Zanselmini. Is unable to get anything done with it. Castillo has her pocket picked here. Patterson has the favor returned as Castillo pokes that ball free. It's football club. Better get my story straight here. I gotta harshly work. No whistle blown. Winter battling away, and she'll send Lecky to ground. Call goes against Aria Winter, and she gets a yellow card here in the 57th. First yellow card handed out here today. Looking to get play back underway. Jaya Lecky and McLeod having a little bit of patty cake in the center circle there, as they were swatting each other before that free kick was taken. Corner kick here for Scrosoppi. Be a right-footed in-swinger coming here off the boot of Alexia Rooms, put in towards goal, and that's out over the bar for a goal kick. 58 minutes have ticked off the clock here at the Zankin Automotive Soccer Center in Vaughan. We expected a tight match here. Mentioned earlier, last time these two teams met, NDC were handed a 2-0 loss by Scrosoppi. McLeod swings the ball into the box. No one able to latch on to the end of it, and finally it's to make anything happen. Stocky unable to maintain possession. Piant. In 6 matches this season, she's got a goal. She's only 16 years old, though. Lots of time for her to get up to speed on what the programming offers, although I say that. And this license will be changing hands. She's come in for Paige Roofer. So she'll spend the next half hour at center back. Gets her first touch of the game and lays it off for Aria Winter. Although it looks like she might have moved up and pushed Winter back into a defensive role here for these last 30 minutes. We'll see how this plays out. Ball lofted over the top. They're looking for McLeod. It'll be Bennett sending it all the way back for Botros. Botros gives it right back to her once again. This is Iris Opong. Patterson's ball into the corner. Stocky unable to find any joy down in that left-hand corner. Here in the 62nd minute of play. Cleared by Lecky, but they're looking to get it right back to her once more, but it's going to come all the way back for Opong. Opong going back for Busby. Busby receives from Opong once more. She's found Aria Winter with lots of room, and they've broken open the formation here for Scrosoppi. Will they be able to take advantage? Moynihan up to meet the ball, but she's unable to bring it down. Lecky pops it up into the air and lands a lot of, headed it back in towards the 18. Here comes Castillo. Castillo's ball only as far as Winter. Winter clears, and that's going to go out for a Scrosoppi throw. 63 minutes have ticked off the clock, and it's Alexia Rooms putting the ball back into play. Pianta with pressure coming from McLeod. Anselmini with a full head of steam. Pianta able to put an end to that attack, and Anselmini in on Moynihan. Moynihan's clearance only as far as Riley Nembard. Lucky. Moynihan turns. Here's Castillo. Castillo with a shot from distance, and that's well wide of the goal and out for an NDC goal kick here in the 65th minute. And Salmini unable to latch onto that ball. McLeod found a Stocky. They're looking for Hennessy at the top of the 6. Ball pops back out to Cordoso. Cordoso puts it up into the air. By Nembard, put in towards goal, and Rashi Botros out to meet it. Was unable to hold on to it. It's going to go out for a goal. Patterson with it now as she cuts in towards the middle. She's found McLeod. McLeod with room to shoot, and she's going to wire a shot just over the bar and out for another Scrosoppi goal kick. Pressure coming in towards the Scrosoppi end, and Scrosoppi hoping to catch NDC on their back foot on a counterattack. Noel Gordon twisting and turning in the middle and unable to find Destiny Omari on the pass. It was broken up by Nembard. Here's Anselmini turning on that far right side, but unable to get around the defender from Scrosoppi. It looked like Abue. Nembard with it on the far sideline. This is Patterson. Patterson's been so shifty this entire match. Lucky able to clear. Shot off the crossbar. Fabulous run there by Riley Nembard and a great shot from distance. She beat the keeper, but not the woodwork. Second time NDC's hit the crossbar here today. Appears as though there's going to be 2 more substitutions coming into the match shortly here for Melissa Big. She's going to put Maya Russell in and throw in Olivia Coppola tapping as well. Stocky tries to find Anselmini. Anselmini able to run onto it. Anselmini to come in towards her. She's found a Stocky. Played out for a corner kick here in the 70th minute of play. We're still knotted up 1-1 here at the Zankin Automotive Soccer Center in very hazy evening. Air quality, some of the worst in the world the last several days here in the GTA. Right-footed outswinger. Middle of the 18 headed away by Castillo. Brought down by Stocky, and this is Destiny Omari on it. Counterattack coming here for Scrosoppi. Destiny Omari is very shifty, but unable to get around Cordoso. Substitutions coming here. Looks like it'll be Anselmini coming out of the match. Russell taking over for her, and it'll be Nembard coming out. I think I've got those backwards. It's Olivia Coppola tapping coming in for Anselmini, while Maya Russell comes in for Riley Nembard. Ball swung into the box by Alexia Rooms, and Busby was there to meet it. She puts it back up the pitch as quick as can be. Noelle Gordon trying to find some space in the middle. She's taken to ground, gets the call. Two-player wall set up here well outside the 18. Castillo might have a look from goal. We've seen Busby susceptible from shots from distance this year. She's going to watch that ball go wide of her goal. Out for a goal kick here. Just under 20 minutes left in this end-to-end match between NDC Ontario and Scrosoppi. Aria Winter with a bit of real estate available to her. Her pass blocked. Lanzalotta able to get it forward. Stocky moving to space. Plays the ball outside of her boot. Looking for Hennessy. Cleared by Pianta. Castillo on it. Shoved from behind by Winter. No call. Winter puts it back into play quickly. Here's Hennessy. Hennessy moving in towards the edge of the 18, and fabulous sliding challenge there by Vanessa Pianta to block that cross, and it goes out for a corner kick. Coppola tapping puts a right-footed in-swinger in towards the middle of the 18, and Aria Winter's header goes well wide of the goal and out for a goal kick. Patterson charging up the pitch. Ball rolls all the way to Botros, and she'll calm things right down here, giving Scrosoppi a chance to catch their breath, recoup and reorganize. Lanzalotta's ball out onto the wing. Attempt there from Coppola tapping to keep it in, but unable to do so. Emily Poutinen coming into the match here. She's going to replace McLeod. Alyssa McLeod had a fabulous match. Opened the scoring back in the 9th minute. She'll take a breather here with about 15 minutes left in regular time. Opong finding Lanzalotta. She'll switch play out onto the left wing and puts it into the path of Hennessy. Hennessy gets around the defender. It was Alexia Rooms and call against Rooms for holding her back. We'll see if Lanzalotta's got some magic in her boots tonight. She lines up the free kick from about 25 yards out here on the left wing. Instructions coming in from Melissa Big.
Entering match number 40, Emily Putonen. Exiting match number 16, Alyssa McLeod.
Three-player wall set up in front of Botros. Lanzalotta lofts it high in towards the top of the six. Stocky got ahead to it, but it was blocked in front. Ball bouncing around, and Moynihan finally able to clear. That's going to go all the way out towards pressure coming from Omari. Lanzalotta looking for Winter. Noelle Gordon turning in the middle. And finally Winter's able to get it up and into the path of Hennessy. Hennessy unable to get through all the black jerseys in the middle, and it'll be played up and then broken up again by Patterson. Here's Hennessy once more. Stocky with the ball in the six. She goes to ground. No call on the play. Play on, says Patterson. Breaks up the clearance once again. Ball goes back for Maya Russell. Definitely a chess match here between these two sides. As much as it's been wave after wave of pressure from NDC Ontario, their opportunities have all really come from shots from distance, and they've been decent. They've beaten Rashi Botros 3 times. Once it went in the back of the net, twice it went off the woodwork. But it's these counterattacks from Scrosoppi that have been oh so dangerous. Not the finest example there as Maya Russell comes away with the ball. Here's Winter, plenty of room for her to operate, and she's wonderful to watch on the ball. Here's Cordoso, her touch lets her down, and it's turned over. Noelle Gordon with it. Noelle Gordon's going to have a shot from range, and that goes off the back of the legs of Iris Opong. Is Stocky with a late challenge from behind. No call from the referee. Busby quick to release on the counter. Castillo takes down Poutinen, and you can hear the cries from the Scrosoppi bench as Luis Felipe Domingos wondering where the heck the call was moments ago when the same thing happened to Castillo. Hennessy getting it forward into the path of Poutinen, rather. That I was going to say a Stocky. They do have a very similar look about them. Here's the aforementioned Stocky, unable to find any room to operate inside the 18. Clearance blocked there by Cordoso. Cordoso with a great showing so far here in the second half after coming into the match. Cries for a handball. No call coming, however, there is Poutinen makes a magic in the 18-yard box. Botros calmly collects the ball here as we've played 79 minutes of this one, just over 10 minutes left. Can't imagine we'll see a ton of time to be added onto this. second half, as we only saw 2 minutes in the first half that included training staff entering the field on at least 3 occasions and 2 goals. We've had no such stoppages here in the second half. Lanzalotta with a careless backheel. That's turned over and play goes back the other way. Opong was able to come up and meet the ball. Legs and limbs flying all over the place as Pianta went in on a hard challenge. Swung into the box. It's Tierra Bennett able to clear. Brought down by Jayalecki. Working her way into the middle. Her ball into the 18, cleared away. Going to mount in the Scrosoppi end as NDC can flood in the water. They're circling like sharks with fresh chum. Corner kick here in the 82nd minute for NDC Ontario. Right-footed outswinger, top of the 6-yard box, scramble in front. And it's Botros sprawling to make the save on her goal line. Fantastic performance from the young Rashi Botros here in her 3rd game of her young career. Solid opponent to have it come against as well in second place NDC Ontario. Poutinen's shot well wide of goal. If Botros can keep the ball out of her goal, she'll likely come away with a share of the points in 3 matches unbeaten here for Scrosoppi to start off her career. She had a draw against Vaughan Azzurri, playing the full 90 back on the 8th. When there was that big 5-1 victory against North Toronto 4 days later. Here's Maya Russell. Winter pushing the ball forward. Hennessy moving into the middle, laying it off for Winter, giving it right back to Hennessy. Wonderful ball movement here on this left side by NDC. And Cordoso's shot's going to go well wide of the goal. You can hear Luis Felipe Domingos trying to figure out how his side didn't get the call there. I'm on his side with this one. But as I've said once before, I'll say it a million times, the referee might have had a better look at it than us, possibly. Another shot in towards Botros' goal, and it's going to be cleared from harm. This is Patterson again lofting a ball in towards the edge of the 18. Bennett's there to get a foot on it. Bennett will get the call as she was tangled up with Estaki. Pianta moving into space. She'll get clipped. That's got to be a yellow card here for Estocchi. Sure enough, here in the 86th minute of play, Gabriella Estocchi sees yellow.
Yellow card issued in the 86th minute to NDC Ontario, number 10, Gabriella Estocchi.
Fabulous work there by Sinai Saraboy to come charging back and put in a defensive effort. Castillo laying it off for Moynihan. Moynihan over the top for Noel Gordon. Not sure why Saraboy didn't make a play on the ball there. I think she might have thought herself to be offside. Referee Lucas Capicotto telling Jayalecki or not Jayalecki, sorry. Ivana Ayube to move up the pitch for the throw-in. Ayube's ball down towards the touchline. Saraboy playing it back. Corner kick coming here for Scrosoppi. 88th minute of play, still 1-1 here, folks, and a rare foray into the NDC end for Scrosoppi in the second half. They've weathered the storm each and every time NDC's made their way into their end. We'll see what they've got in store on this corner kick. It's Castillo standing over the ball. Right-footed in-swinger. Looks to be back of the 6-yard box, and Busby reaches up into the sky and pulls that ball down. Castillo charging in to try and win the ball back, and she got a foot in, and she'll have the call go against her. And a yellow card to boot. Not 100% sure what the call was there. It looked like she got a foot in on that ball. Once again, Capicotto probably had a better look at it from 10 feet away than you or I did from 45 yards out like we are here. Here's Maya Russell finding Winter. Cordoso slipping a pass into the path of Hennessy. Cordoso finds Hennessy on the left side. Hennessy to the top of the 18. Her shot deflected. Lanzalotta's ball into the box, and that's going to go out for a goal kick here with the final few grains of sand slipping through the hourglass in the full 90 of this Ontario Premier League match of the week. Lanzalotta gets ahead to it. Pautinen. Here's Winter finding Lanzalotta once more. Abuya getting it into the path of Jayalecki. Call goes against Leckie. 6 minutes to be added on to this second half. You'll have to explain that one to me after we only saw 2 in the first half when there was 2 goals and 3 injury stoppages. Somehow we've magically found 6 minutes for this match here in the second half. Botros comes down with the ball and lands on Aria Winter. You can hear referee Capicoto counting down the seconds before Botros got the ball. Oh my goodness. Sorry if you could hear me struggling to hold that sneeze in and finish my sentence. Sarah Bowie holding on to the ball, trying to find some space. She'll go to ground. No contact on the play, so she won't get the call. Here's Cordoso. Samantha Cordoso getting a ball up for Istaki. Play switched and no one able to get on to the end of it. Coppola tapping was right there. Here's Patterson once more. Moynihan to meet her, and Hennessy got a foot to that ball, but she was wide of the goal already, and it goes out for a goal kick. Botros not in any kind of rush to get the ball back into play. Careless pass there by Ivana Ayuba, and that's out for an NDC throw, but they probably turned it over, and then Scrosoppi very wasteful in giving it right back. Things getting a little sloppy here to close this match out. Russell with a sliding challenge to poke that ball free. Ball put through the legs of Alexia Rooms, and here's Cordoso cutting onto her right foot. A shot in towards goal, and Botros makes the save, dives onto the rebound as Stocky was flying in to try and bang in that loose ball. Cordoso's pass found by Alexia Rooms. Rooms trying to generate an attack and turns it over. If things finish as they are currently, Scrosoppi will temporarily move into 4th place, level with Vaughan, although Vaughan have played fewer games and are still yet to play this weekend. Although it looks as though Vaughan would have the tiebreaker anyways. Here's Cordoso. She's found it Stocky over the or Hennessy over the top. Great save by Botros. Another shot in towards goal, and that whistle's just wide of Botros's goal. Hennessy's going to be seeing that one in her nightmares. She'll wish she had another look at that ball. Ball cleared up towards half. Lanzalotta was able to get to it. Jayalecki sends it back up towards the NDC back line. Lecky getting it forward to Saraboe, rather that. Here's Hennessy once more. One-on-one with Pianta. Castillo just out of juice as she was chasing that ball down. Opong beat her to it. Here's Cordoso once more. Russell smashing a ball in towards the top of the 18, and once again it's Alexia Rooms. Rooms left it, and that's going to go out, and it'll be a goal kick. Scary moment there for Scrosoppi. And that's it, folks. Your final score here, 1-1 between Scrosoppi and NDC. Twice this season, Scrosoppi have taken points off of the National Development Center, so they'll have plenty to be proud of. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening for your Ontario Premier League Match of the Week. My name's Pierce Lang, and look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.